Welcome to Northern Perspective, Episode 4. This is a debrief with context of North Glengarry's October 14, 2025 Council meeting. Welcome, Mayor MacDonald.
Thank you for the invite.
So, the 2026 elections, service contract was awarded to Votes. It integrates internet and telephone and paper ballot voting. So the focus, I guess, was on accessibility, security, and bilingual services. So how does this company, is this a new company, and how does it improve voter accessibility?
So it's not a company that we've used. So we do it as SD&G. All the CAOs get together and our clerks, and they work together and put out one, call for people to submit, or companies to submit to us. So we've never had votes, but and that was one of the questions I did ask. Have they done this before? And they had glowing reviews from other municipalities. So it's important. We talk about the security of the election, and one of the things that we're very not all municipalities do it. I think the only other municipality in SD&G doing it is South Dundas, but paper ballots are very important to us. We want to get out into the retirement homes. We give people the access through there. We also want to make sure that, and it was funny, one of the stats was that the bigger portion of the people using it were people 80 years and older.
Wow.
So
that's your voting demographic.
That is definitely they're the ones who vote, and so it's great. I think this company offers some. They're very flexible for us to if we need more tabulators, if we want to open up in more locations. We're just trying to get as many people as we can to vote, and I know part of the issue sometimes is there's been a lot of acclamations, so that definitely some people just don't feel like, oh well, I don't need to go vote, or
if there's only a few people to vote for.
If there's only a few people to vote for. So I think it's important for people who are interested to come to a few meetings, see what's happening, and put your name forward if you're interested.
Yeah, well, the political process is important.
Yep,
Yeah. So,
sure.
and when is it ballpark supposed to be this year? Next year?
Almost a year from the end of the month. So so I think your name can go in on the 1st of May.
Okay.
Nominations close on around the 15th to the 25th of August.
Okay.
And then into the elections.
Okay, that's interesting. So you had there was a bylaw authorizing alternative voting method. Is there why does township need a bylaw for this?
So that's just that's basically standard paperwork for doing these kinds of things, and putting out there that that we're going to go with the 3 methods of voting: telephone, internet, and paper balloting. So it's it's just a bylaw that we need to pass.
Okay. So Main Street and Mill Square projects, the scope was refined.
Yeah.
So council reviewed an updated direction document for the Alexandria Main Street and Mill Square renewal project. So it narrows the scope to 4 areas: Main Street, County Road 10, Mill Square, and adjacent parking. So I guess the goal is to improve accessibility, optimize parking, and modernize utilities. So what does this project mean for Alexandria's downtown, and how is it going to impact residents during construction?
So first off, just to talk about the project a little bit, it's as every resident has driven down Main Street, it's in fairly poor shape. The people, you can watch people and they're doing a zigzagging around the dips,
and every few years you repave.
Yeah, we do we put a little bit of an overlay on just to get us to the point. This isn't a cheap project.
No.
Just the township share would be somewhere in the neighborhood of $4 million, and the counties would be probably 3 times that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big project, and if I've been here I've lived here my entire life, so 58 years.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look from 58 years ago to today, not much has changed.
Not much has changed. No.
We did some bump outs a few years ago in the Mill Square. about I'm going to say probably maybe 15 to 20 years ago. They put in some interlocking with places for trees and figured out that
Yeah.
winter salt kills trees. So
Yeah.
it was it didn't really work out. So it's time for us to upgrade and bring a better better infrastructure. So at the same time, the municipality is going to be changing all the water infrastructure underneath. We're in.
Are they burying the wires, or are
Well,
they? Or
it's way too expensive for us to
at this point?
bury the hydro lines.
Okay.
But we will be in talks with burying the Bell and
The internet
Eastlink and
yeah.
internet and all that on the which is on the west side of the street. So yeah, no, we want to beautify. We want to make it work. We don't want to make it as comfortable for transports to come through at great speeds like they do.
That's in the also in my other
Yeah,
go ahead.
it's just is to get people. We want to make it a place where you can walk the streets safely, and a lot of people don't understand how much infrastructure is on Main Street, and people don't realize that the Mill Square, in front of the North Glengarry restaurant, is actually a bridge, and it goes right underneath, and so that's something that's going to have to be brought up, replaced or fixed, because it is very old. So it's an exciting project, and the counties are excited about it. We're excited about it. So there'll be some.
Is there some dates for this? Or?
Well, yeah, we're looking for hopefully in 2027. It's just depending on monies available. We just the county's just finished County Road 22 from Maxville to the 138, which was arguably one of the worst roads in SDNG.
Okay.
And so we've put a lot of money into that. So Alexandria is Main Street is the next big project. So, we're looking forward to seeing that happen. As far as businesses and interruption, that's something that we'll be, we're going to be meeting with the public. We're going to engage a consultant, sit down with the public and our commerce and discuss, the best ways around things.
Yes, it obviously will have an impact, but
it will have an impact. But I think the long term,
of course,
the long term gain will be worth it. So, but yeah, definitely need to work with our businesses and make sure there's access to all their, with parking and sidewalks to get there and stuff. So for
Good.
sure.
So there's been talks about accessibility and parking as core design priorities. Updated sort of the updated design emphasizes wheelchairs, safer crossings, and flexible parking strategies to support businesses and aging population. Is that part of the same project?
This is all part of the same project. So a lot of that portion would be North Glengarry's expense. So obviously where Gaetan's chip stand is, our municipal parking lot there is important to this infrastructure. So it's bringing that to today's standards. We also lease the spot at the corner of St. Paul and Main Street.
Okay.
And so we're going to have to look into see what we want to do with that. As Deputy Mayor Williams, expressed a little bit that, we don't own it, we lease it. So that's something that we're going to need to discuss in the future. And it's a valid concern, investing money into something we don't own. So, and then we own that lot across from Gaetan's chip stand. So, looking at how can we bring all this together and, link up with the Mill Square to the park and so there's lots of ideas out there. We just
and those other ideas have been around for decades even.
Absolutely.
And
for sure.
And there's finally sort of starting to come to light and to fruition.
Something that I think all of council's
is there a place where people can maybe perhaps preview some of the potential changes that
so that'll come. We'll be having public meetings as we go forward. We're taking
it is for 2027, so there's some time.
Exactly. And I think you'll see some of this happening in mid probably spring to early summer will be reaching out to the public. But again, those timelines haven't been set yet.
Okay. So as you mentioned a little bit, there was some truck traffic and road safety concerns.
Yeah.
We all know that, we see, regardless of the certain bans or restrictions, there's still a lot of trucks going down. So truck traffic on Main Street remains a concern despite seasonal bans. Council discussed design features to naturally discourage the truck use, so maybe narrowing lanes and rerouting. So what other steps can they do, and where do sort of fines figure into this?
So that I brought that up at the meeting. It's unfortunate that some trucks just, even though they're just going right straight through town to the 401, they just continue straight without using the bypass. And
are there fines? Is there something in
there
place?
We can't.
Or is that North Glengarry's responsibility,
So
or is that
normally, it would
shared?
be kind of the OPP, but
Okay.
it's not something that we would probably request them to do. I think it would probably come
as
down
a first
to,
course of action?
Yeah, I think it would probably come down to our bylaw,
Okay.
our bylaw officer to handle that. I mean, it's we're going to be putting up all the millions of dollars of infrastructure, and to have these guys barreling down Main Street. And Councillor Manley mentioned that he saw an extended load of logs coming through town and going straight through town. So we recognize that Alexandria Molding and Lancier Bakery and the trucks that are dropping off at our local restaurants, and that that they need to come down Main Street.
You've got even places like Hubert Sabourin, which they come to
Exactly.
Law Hill and go down that street. They have to come in part way through town.
Yeah, no, and so we we don't want to stop that. That's part of our that's our
That's
business.
the economic.
That's our economic driver. So, but I live at the corner of Ottawa Street and Kenyon, and which is County Road 43, and trucks aren't supposed to be coming down there to turn at what we locally call the banks. And I see 2-3 trucks coming down there. They're stepping up onto our sidewalks to get over. So.
And I guess when they do get there, they're a little surprised that they don't necessarily have the turning room, and that there was alternate routes.
Yeah, exactly. So easy routes for them. If they're already coming down 43 to go down County Road 45, or to turn up County Road 44, MacDonald Boulevard to go. So, anyways, it's. I think it's just better signage, maybe a little bit of enforcement. To get the word out, and I think we'll be fine there.
Okay. Finally, the Maxville Lagoon environmental compliance. So council received updates on the lagoon's ammonia and phosphate discharge challenges. So I guess new technology is going to be required to meet very strict provincial environmental regulations with significant cost implications. That's what it said. So how is township planning to balance these environmental compliance with financial pressures of upgrading the lagoon?
So we are currently going through the environmental assessment process with the Maxville Lagoons, and one of the ideas was we have 2 discharges in the spring and in the fall for the Alexandria Lagoon. So we were looking for the same thing in Maxville, so would have required us to do no work and increase our capacity. But due to the fact that our phosphate levels are so high, we can't.
You can't do the discharge.
We're not meeting the requirements. So so it's something that we kind of knew was going to happen. Through the EA process, they're going to come to us with different suggestions on ways we can move forward and with costing. I anticipate that it'll be somewhere between $2 and $4 million.
Okay.
Which isn't, and I don't, I don't want to
we don't diminish the
I don't want to diminish
however.
that it's $2 to $4 million, but in the grand scheme of things, looking at the growth that we want to do in Maxville as well, we have developers ready to go. on lands there. So we want to get this done and get some growth. In Maxville, without, people love the small town charm, and I think, we can retain that at the same time. But definitely, it would be.
And there's also lessons learned from what happened with the Alexandria Lagoon for many years, which sort of stifled the growth of Alexandria. So if you're nipping this in the butt,
that's right. That's what we're trying to do. We're right at the end of our capacity there. We're not over yet. But Alexandria for years, my standard joke to my mom is that her brother was J.P. Touchette, and we had those issues with the lagoons back in his day. So I did tell my mom that we're going to get it done. So I'm obviously the better politician than Uncle J.P. and she actually, I think she hung up the phone on me while laughing, of course. But so no, it's great that we're trying to get things done for the Maxville Lagoon in advance. So.
Oh, that's good. So, anything else? I think it was I did check out the meeting. It was interesting. Anything else you'd like to add to?
Yeah, just we have a really kind of a new fun thing that we're trying out in Maxville this weekend on Sunday between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. It's a volunteer
expo.
Expo.
What's that about?
So we have, a lot of times we hear the same thing. You'll see it on Facebook. Oh, geez, if I'd have known, I'd have helped out. And and this is an opportunity for people to come. And we have 15 groups that will be there from, the SDNG Library for Maxville, the Horticultural Society, the Soccer League. So people can come and just maybe pick. If we get I would say if you showed up and you got 5 more volunteers out of that whole event, 5 more volunteers would be a great help. And I think we'll see more than that. And also putting out a call to the students that this is a way that they can get their 40 hours in. And so I think it's important. And I know a shout out to Rachel Marlowe, who had contacted myself and the deputy mayor and Gary Martin, and for her, reaching out to the township and, partnering with us to do this. And we're hopeful that maybe we can replicate that in Alexandria or any community to try and get people out to help volunteer.
Yeah, no, it is important because many of our events, events that are in the community, have a good percentage of those that are volunteer run or at least volunteer participants, that need they need the bodies and they need people to.
We do. And, a lot of times you'll see the same volunteers on, 3 or 4
and
organizations.
We also hear of the volunteer burnout that these great volunteers can't do it anymore, and that's unfortunate. And then when there's a few more, then it reduces that.
No, so I'm excited to see how it goes.
So it's this Sunday, October 19th at the Maxville Arena.
Yep, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So you heard it here, not first. It's on the displays of Glengarry TV, so you can see that on there as well. So if you do want to give your time, that's very, very important to. And again, as a community, it's so important to share each other's passion for what we're actually doing here. And an organization that sort of falls along the line of your values is important to participate with. Well, Mayor MacDonald, thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you for having me again.
See you in a few weeks, I guess, because there's another council meeting coming up soon. So
great.
Super.
So
All
thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.